Hello and thank you so much for joining me, Alyssa Arundell, for your July monthly tarot card reading. If you haven't already and would like to check out your free 3-card tarot spread, then you can do so in the description box beneath this video. They're written for the past, present and future tenses in mind, so you really get an overarching idea and feel for what's going on in your specific circumstance. But if you would like a more detailed view, you can always reach out to me directly for a live or recorded one-to-one session. I'd also be really honoured if you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. That way you get alerted every time Patrick and I drop a new video, and this includes our daily show. But without further ado, let's get into our reading to see what July holds for you. Hello Aries, and thank you so much for joining me for your July tarot card reading. Let's have a look at your present situation here, Aries. You have the World. This is a brilliant card to kickstart your reading for this month. The World is when we come to the end of a cycle. We've been the Fool, you've gone through the Fool's journey. You've learnt the lessons. This includes being the Hermit. This includes some cards like Judgment, where you've had to make decisions, choices. But it's coming to the end of that stretch now. And so I feel like it's like a new chapter is about to begin, and a journey never completely ends. There's always a new level of learning to go to. But I think this is a real opportunity, Aries, for you to give yourself a pat on the back, and to let yourself know that you have done good work. It could be easy to just move on to the next thing, but I think it's time to celebrate your achievements when this card comes up. Let's have a look at what's blocking you here. Much about moving forwards, moving on. So it could be, in this sense, it is the end of a chapter, but there could be a bit of sorrow or a bit of trepidation about what you're moving on from. Maybe it's a bit of a melancholy feeling, like you've had to leave certain people, situations behind. You might not feel like celebrating when this card comes up. It's more feeling your way through the journey. And so if you do feel a little bit numb, Aries, with this new beginning, just allow yourself to have some time to grieve over perhaps the things that you've had to leave behind in order to start this new chapter. The card here that is your foundation card is the Page of Cups, and he is reversed here in your foundation. The Page of Cups is usually somebody who, it can represent a youth in our lives. It can also represent a situation where we're sort of swept off our feet in some way. That saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And perhaps you found that out because it is reversed. It could be that the dreams and goals, or maybe the ideas that you put onto a person or situation, haven't quite worked out the way that you thought that they would. But this isn't a negative thing for your foundation. It means that you're really seeing the truth now. You're not just being guided by that feeling that everything will just work out, you have that faith, but at the same time you're more steeped in logic as well. And so you're going to get a more realistic future outcome when you know exactly what it is that you're dealing with. The card here in your past is the King of Swords. So it could be that somebody in your life has in the past been a supporter of you in some way. They might not have been very warm or cuddly type of person, but they could have been somebody who has a very clear, thought process. Someone like maybe a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. If this doesn't represent a person in your life, again, this is you getting to the truth of a situation. This is you figuring out what you stand for, cutting through any deception or lies, and really becoming the master of your own domain. Let's have a look at what spiritually crowned you this month, Aries. We have the 8 of Swords. Aries, this isn't the most happy card to come up for you. Swords represent air, our logic, our thought process, our mind. And the 8 of Swords is usually a prison of our own creation. This is where our thoughts can really keep us bound to something that doesn't serve us anymore. So perhaps this would be a good month to deconstruct some belief systems that are holding you back in some way. What obstacles in your mind, or what spiritual obstacles do you feel are not serving you at the moment? The Eight of Swords is always something that you can break out of. Okay, it's never something that you're trapped in forever, but there has to be steps to be made to realize that this is a trap, a thought trap, basically. Your immediate future here, Aries, this is you. This is the King of Wands. I feel as though people are going to be taking you a lot more seriously this month, Aries, and just giving you some credit for the hard work that you've put in. I think sometimes people can see you as a bit happy-go-lucky, and this can often mean that not necessarily getting the respect you deserve, because it may look like some things come easy to you, but my word, you do work hard for them. And so I think other people are just going to see those qualities within you. It's a pretty good omen if you're applying for a new job or starting a new business, especially. Your state of mind here, Aries, is the Lovers. This is going to mean different things for different people, but in one circumstance, this could be that a love relationship is weighing deeply on your mind. You may have to make some choices. This could be a choice of what trajectory you want the relationship to go in. It could even be a choice between two lovers. Sometimes we can run into people who maybe have certain qualities we admire. Maybe they're romantic, poetic, gentle, and then maybe somebody else is more passionate, more go-getting, more spontaneous. But maybe if it is like a choice between these two archetypes, it's best to hold out for someone that encompasses all the things we want. Of course, no relationship is perfect and everything needs to be worked upon, but we shouldn't necessarily have to choose or make decisions on what values we really hold dear. Your outside influence here, Aries, is Judgment. You've got a lot of major arcana cards in this spread, as well as court cards. Judgment, again, can represent choice. You know, it's really about where we morally stand. Like, what do you believe in? Again, it's that saying, like, if we fall, you know, if we believe in, if we stand for nothing, we fall for everything. And do we want to be like that? Judgment can also mean that there is some karmic energy that comes back to us, which could be positive in a way. Perhaps if you've been wronged in the past, then some sort of karma comes through this and other people see that situation for what it really was. So that could be something that makes you feel quite triumphant. But I think it's important not to gloat this month. But at the same time, yeah, do enjoy a bit of karma if it does come along. Your hopes and fears here, Aries, are the Queen of Swords. I think this represents you really understand. It's like we were saying about you coming into your power. And there may be hopes and fears that surround that. Part of the great thing about coming into your power is that you get more respect. You could get potential more job offers come your way, or just be seen to be more of a authoritative figure. But the downside to that is that maybe the fun gets taken out of things. Maybe all of this extra responsibility is limiting your time to be a bit more free-loving, a bit more adventurous. And so it's kind of the trade-off. You want to work hard, but maybe still have some time for yourself. So I think this is a bit of a hope and a fear, but nothing to be too concerned about. And your outcome here, well, you couldn't really ask for a better card, Aries. This is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is feeling fruitful. It can be an inheritance of some kind. This is really enjoying life's luxuries. These could be big luxuries, but they can also be the small things, like having a lie-in, getting jobs done and just admiring your home surroundings. But I do think financially this is a good omen for you. So just to recap this month, you may need to fight to get out of your head a little bit. Maybe the romance or the situation didn't turn out the way you thought it would and that promise wasn't kept, but you are moving into your own power. There could be some karmic payback in a positive way, particularly when the 10 of Pentacles comes out as your outcome. Thank you so much for joining me this month. I really do feel very honoured to have you in this space and to be in your presence. If you would, again, like to check out your free 3-card tarot spread, you can do so by clicking the link beneath this video. And if you would like to reach out for a one-to-one recorded, live or emailed reading with me, I'd be honoured to do that with you as well. But until we speak again next month, take care and have a very safe month. Alyssa.